What's up, everybody? Welcome back to R3 TV. Today, another episode of Project Annoying CB freaking 7. So after the last video, I drove quite a bit after changing the brakes, which the brakes are working great, by the way. I still have to do the, you see here, still have to do the rear. Those are the rear lines that I still have to do. But that's no big deal. The brakes are working good. I still got to do the calipers and like all the brake stuff. I still need to do. But so I didn't tell you in the last video. I broke down after driving, so I drove like maybe 2 miles down the road, and the car just shut off. I go to the trunk. I see that the battery post, it's not strapped down back here. So the battery fell over and the battery came off. It was just like that sitting. So the car was just running off the alternator, and I think I killed the alternator because after I put the battery back on, the car kept dying. So I think the alternator is shot on here. So I have the relocation bracket kit, the innovative relocation bracket, so the alternator sits this way so I can fit the top mount. So what I'm going to do is take the alternator off, take it to AutoZone, get it swapped out. Not sure if I still have the lifetime warranty on this, but if not, I'll just get a lifetime warranty alternator, get my battery charger and charge the battery and crank it back up. I need to change the oil because also it has started knocking a little bit after the last time I drove it. I'm not sure if the oil was changed last time, but the oil, I don't know if you can see that, the oil is a little bit gassy. It's gas in it, and it smells like, kind of smells like gas, like it's running rich, but the car's not running rich. So I'm gonna change the filter and the oil, and hopefully by tomorrow crank her up, which I mean still should be in this video. And then I need to tackle the hubs and rotors. I'm trying to think. I still don't have my rack and pinion in yet, so I don't know if I want to take everything apart and then later on do the rack and pinion, which, I mean, it's no big deal. Just, I mean, all I'm doing is taking off the tie rod ends there. So I may just at least try to knock out one side. I'll see how it goes. Make sure I have all the parts. And then, yeah, we can start getting this car on the road. So I'm going to take off the alternator, go get it swapped out, and we'll see what we get. All right, guys. So I went to AutoZone, but of course the AutoZone I went to did not have the alternator I needed, so I'm gonna go get it tomorrow. So I came back home and went ahead and changed my oil. Just trying to decide on what oil I wanted to get. Kind of did some research, and I went ahead and got the Rotella T6. It's a diesel oil. It's a 5W40 weight, so it's a little thicker. I don't know how many miles this engine has on it, so I'm go ahead and thicken up the oil a little bit and see if I can. I mean, that's kind of a band-aid if the bearings are already bad or whatever, but I don't think it'll hurt. So as far as the oil that was in there, I don't think it was. I'm not sure if it was changed on before I got the dyno tune, because if you can see, this oil is like super watery. Like, I wouldn't expect it to be this black and watery if it was changed before the dyno. So that may be a part of the knocking. There's no shavings or anything in it. Just that stuff was already in the pan, but it's definitely lots of gas mixed in the oil. So that may be a part of why I was having problems hitting VTEC. Just maybe it just it didn't have oil pressure. So hopefully this Rotella oil. Helps it out a little bit. I won't be able to tell until tomorrow, until get my alternator, I can crank it back up, but I'll at least throw the oil in there, and hopefully that helps it out a lot. All right, guys, welcome back. It's next day. So I went to AutoZone and was able to pick up my new alternator. Went ahead and got an alternator with a lifetime warranty, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Also picked up some, so what I didn't realize is when you do the Rotella T6, it's actually not 5 quarts like a normal. It's like 3 quarts. So there, I was checking my dipstick and I'm like, why the heck isn't my oil filled up? Then look at the box, it's only like 3 quarts. So they don't, at AutoZone, they didn't sell the individual quarts of oil. So I went ahead and just got some Royal Purple. It's about the same weight. I think that one's 540. This one's 530. Close enough. These are like $9 a quart, versus like Mobile One and all the others were like $11. So went ahead and got 2 of those to go ahead and top the oil off. I'm gonna throw the alternator on, and I also got while I was there, I just got an oil pressure gauge because I wanted the digital one I got. I don't really trust it. My tuner was saying that he doesn't really trust those either, because they can be off, the thing could go bad. So I just went and got a manual one. I don't care what it looks like. It's only like 20 bucks. So I'm gonna throw this in there and see what the oil pressure is. Throw the alternator on, and hopefully that makes things a little better. So we'll see what we get today. All right, guys, please don't make a dumb mistake like me. So I'm over here flipping out. So this whole bottom of the car is full of oil. So every time I'm pouring oil in, I hear it pouring out of the bottom. So I'm freaking out, thinking that there is a hole in the block or something broke, or so I go to pour. So first of all, I wasted almost a whole quart of Royal Purple. So I'm looking around trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Please don't make this mistake. So I took my valve cover off, and my freaking injector wires are stuck between the valve cover, and the oil is, I poured in, the oil is just leaking straight out to the ground. So my wires are clamped down under the valve cover. So I had to take the valve cover off, take the wires out, and we should be good. Wow, I've been working on Hondas for a while, and I must say that is the first time I've done anything remotely close to that. So before you freak out and think your block has a hole in it, check the injector wires. All right, so I got my alternator back on. The belt is tight. I fixed my valve cover, filled it up with oil, no longer leaking. I also got this little eBay reservoir, overflow reservoir, because it was I just had a tube at the end of that just blocked off. So I got this cheap little reservoir. I'm gonna just stick it, probably just stick it like here somewhere. Just put the little clamp or zip tie it. I don't care how it looks. I just want to get the for some reason, when I know the coolant system was bled, but like my hoses here get like rock cement hard, like there's still air in the system. So I'm just gonna get everything like it's supposed to be. Probably rebleed the system and see if that helps any. Yes, I'm just gonna put this on, and I should be able to take the jack stands off, put her on the ground, and crank her up and see what she sounds like. All right, so I got the reservoir mounted. Pretty just put a clamp around the old what other spot for the old OEM style reservoir. Just put some zip ties and a clamp around that. Topped off the coolant. Once again, this is on. Belt is tight. I was gonna start it in the garage, but I know there's oil all over the the exhaust pipe because it was leaking oil everywhere. So I'm gonna pull it out of the garage and let it burn off some of the oil. Hopefully it starts up. I think the battery's probably dead. We'll see. I'm gonna take it off the jack stands and please, baby. Please, baby. All right, I got her on the ground. I got her pushed out. Just going over everything again, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Because it seems like every time I go to drive, I forget something. I leave a hose off or something. So this is on there good. Change my oil cap. My spark plugs back in. Alternator belt is it's tight. It could be tighter, but I think it's good. Couple things wrong with the car as far as the coolant goes. The heater core is bad. So here, where this would usually go to the heater core, it's just blocked off. And then from this side, there's just the hose that goes from the water neck here. Just has a big bolt in it and like blocked off. And I was trying to figure out why I was losing coolant. It's because there was a cut in the hose right here, so I was just leaking coolant. So we'll see. But everything else should be good. So I'm gonna get the keys and see if she cranks up, if the battery's not dead. Video editing. Looks like I just found my keys, but it took me forever to find my freaking keys. Anyway, let's see how dead she is, or how alive she is. If she has anything in her. Oh. Okay. That was scary. You heard that big knock? Still kind of knocking. I don't know if that's something hitting or that's actually the motor knocking. I'm gonna let it warm up and see. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go out on the limb and say that this motor is done. Toast. Haven't driven it yet. But listen at this. I don't know what that is, but that sounds very bad. Almost sounds like the cams. I'm scared to drive it. I'm stranded down the road. Air fuel is good. So of course I'm ending the video at another pit stop, as I always do. So I really don't know what's going on with that motor, with that sound, the knocking. I mean, it sounds like, I know what an engine knock sounds like, but it's almost weird. Like, it kind of goes away a little bit when I push the clutch in. So I don't know if it's like coming from the transmission. It's not. I know it's not. I don't know what it is, honestly. I know it's not the transmission, or it could be anything with this car. I mean, honestly, it could be anything. But when I push the clutch in a little bit, it kind of goes away. But when I rev it up, it does the knocking thing. Okay. Every time I record a video, I see a freaking snake. Or last time it was lightning. This time it was a freaking huge snake that just ran across the video. What the... I don't know. It's too much going on right now. Oh, okay. I'm good. So yeah, it's either, I don't know. I changed the alternator. I changed the oil. It's still knocking. It could be anything. I just gotta figure out what it is. I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and pull the motor out, put the built motor in, pull the motor out, go ahead and do the ABS, delete the ABS, fix the heater cord, get everything done, and just go ahead and go all out on the motor and stop trying to play with this stock one because it's gonna come out anyway. So I think I'm just gonna do that. So guys, leave a comment, tell me what you think it is. Maybe I'll see some comments before I pull the motor out, some things I can try and test. Maybe just drop the oil pan, see if I see anything crazy, spun bearing, or just, I don't know what it could be. So yeah, leave a comment, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next video.